Hello, Cancer North Node. Welcome to your 3-month reading, which will be from December 2022 till February 2023. Let's say approximately, as I'm getting to these later in the month of December. So 3 months from, I'm going to say the solstice because I'm reading around the solstice. Which would make this go slightly into March, into like the first 2-3 weeks of March. This is a general reading. So not all the messages will resonate with you. Just take what strikes a chord, and what does not, just leave that for anyone else in your Cancer North Node collective that needs to hear that message at this time. If you are feeling this reading, do give it a like, a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe, which helps me better connect to your energy and also signals to my guides and your guides that you are open to receiving messages through this particular channel. And hit the notification bell so you'll know when I upload. I upload other styles of videos as well. This particular reading is for the North Node. I don't actually read for any other astrological placement. So if you're not sure what your North Node sign is, please do click the link in the description box. That will lead you to my website where you can look up your date of birth and the North Node placement at that time. You could also run your birth chart if you would like a full picture. If you're new to my channel, welcome. We are doing a North Node reading or a spread that was created by my guides for this specific purpose. So it goes through universal energies, which are the highest energies working for you at this time. 5D energies, which is your higher self or your future self, what they are beckoning for you to look at for and address in this next phase of growth. Your 3D, which is what's happening in your current physical reality that is presenting itself as opportunities for growth. Then we'll ask how to bridge the 3D and the 5D. I will look at what needs to come through the portal of your heart in the next 3 months. That section I change every reading. Sometimes I do karma, sometimes I do quantum and multidimensionality. This time it is portal of the heart. And then I'm going to pull your final oracles. I'm going to timestamp each of those sections so that you can come back anytime within the next 3 months and take a look specifically at whichever section you feel to review. Or if you don't get through the whole reading in one sitting, then you can easily pick up where you left off. And with that, one more thing. I am doing personal readings at the moment at a discounted rate. They are 60-minute readings that happen over Zoom. So you can book that on my website using the discount code in the description box. I have a limited number available. And I think that's it now. So I'm going to pull your quote-unquote universal energy cards. Take Flight is your first card, Cancer North Node. Worthy. I like the colors already, and you have 2 butterflies. Let me get the rest of the cards before I start. Music, which also looks like fairy butterfly-y. And these are just flying. Union. You have a lot of, considering this is fractal art, there's all types of possibilities for what these pictures can come out looking like. And they all have this butterfly moth to a flame kind of energy. This one, Union, I'm feeling is a bit like blossoming. But if you want to make big changes, now is the time to really dedicate yourself to those big changes. Everything that you have ever dreamed of is possible in the next 3 months. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to come to a full completion and full fruition in the next 3 months, but you definitely should be planting and sowing seeds. You should not be wasting any part of your day on something that you do not want to see continue through your life. If those things do come up, it's likely the universe asking you, do you really want what you say you want? Or you have some obligations to close off. The question of worthiness will come up again and again over the next 3 months. Of you feeling that the you that you would like to be is not just a dream or something you fantasize about, but is someone that can actually exist and someone that you really already are. But the confidence, the right to express that in the world and be seen for that, seen and appreciated for that. This is the feeling I'm getting with worthiness. Music. I'm just going through these high level energies fairly quickly because we're going to get down to the nitty gritty with each deck of cards I use. And there's like 5 more decks to go through. So, music. I feel that some of you will be reconnecting to a love of music or a style of music that kind of fell to the wayside. Maybe you haven't been enjoying music as much, or you've forgotten of how influential music can be in your space. But there's a reconnection. There's a chance in the next 3 months to reconnect with music. Whether or not you are pursuing it professionally, I feel that a lot of you have a natural affinity with music and a natural ability with music. And with union, I do feel that you've given up parts of yourself in the past in order to thrive and survive in the environment that you've been in. You know, all of us had some major coping mechanisms, I would say, come to the surface during pandemic and lockdowns and such. And we may have, even before that, had suppressed a certain aspects of ourselves. But this is what I'm feeling with you, Cancer North Node. I feel that Cancer, because Cancer North Node and Capricorn South Node are so, I mean, all of the North Node, South Node polarities are just that, polarities. So they're opposite sides of like the same coin. And they contrast each other in a way. But this one I feel is one of the most, the Cancer Capricorn polarity, I feel the most push and pull between masculine energy and feminine energy. Like one is super intuitive and emotional, and one is very strategic. Cancer being the intuitive and emotional, and Capricorn being strategic and grounded. I feel you have the opportunity to unite varying aspects of yourself, or aspects of yourself that you previously thought could not coexist. You're finding opportunities or the universe is presenting you with opportunities and ways of going about your life that allows you to integrate those things. You're also being invited to have a higher perspective on yourself as already being a whole and integrated being before you even are playing that out in reality, or in physical reality is what I should say. Moving on to the 5D now. What does your higher self, future self, have to say about things you should be looking at, focusing on, aspects of yourself, emotions, behaviors? I'll be quiet now because it doesn't want to come out. Oh, here they come. Okay. First chakra and intuition. I feel they want a third card here. First chakra, intuition, divine masculine. Grace. Empowerment and remembrance. Friendship. I'm going to put this here because I just have a feeling you're getting 8 cards right now. I usually take 6. And you have the number 22 twice. And then the 5th chakra. Of course you got the 5th chakra in this position. Like, hello, music. And the throat chakra. You know, I always say this after the fact. I should say it when it comes up. But I wanted to say there's something with your 5th chakra and the music card. With your throat chakra. Okay, so we have what numbers do we have coming up for you? We have 1, 2 plus 7 is 9. We have 22, 24, 2 and 4 is 6, 2 and 6 is 8, 11, another 22 and 5. So I would say what I'm feeling here is that the most significant number is the 22. You may have been seeing 22, 522, 622. Like every time you look at the clock during work, it ends up being 22 after the hour, for example. Or you're waking up in the middle of the night at 2:22. Okay. Worthiness and your first chakra. I feel that there is time right now in the next 3 months to really heal and connect, to feel good in your physical form. And to build a sense of security, I feel that there will be some addressing of any, let's say, underdevelopment of your first chakra that came through your relationship with your whoever raised you, whether it's parents or not parents. Fostering, I'm hearing as well. But there is the insecurity of the root of the unworthiness is an insecurity that came during the developmental phase of the first chakra, which would be your very, first years of life. Sense of not being good enough for a parent, or parents' love feeling conditional as opposed to unconditional, very much affects our sense of worthiness. And they're pointing to this figure in the worthy card that kind of looks like just a small, it looks like a child to me, even though it's not childlike, but it's just a small figure. They're so small in the midst of this huge world around it. So Move to intuition, and I'll read what's on the card here. The energy of intuition supports our ability to conceive the subtle language of the realms beyond the three-dimensional reality. Your intuition is growing. It's very strong. You need to trust it more. And I feel like with this connection of divine masculine, you actually should be doing more with your intuition. Like you should be acting from your intuition. Divine masculine, I'll read this card as well. The frequency of divine masculine supports our strong, focused, and active side, allowing it to express itself while helping us to bring our dreams and ideas into form with kindness and wisdom. So, and this is coming by Take Flight. I feel that you are in need of understanding that your intuition is part of your grounding. And it doesn't matter if anyone else understands what your intuition is saying to you or understands the path that you're going. It needs to be enough. Your intuition is your guide. And it's enough of a reason to do. And once you actually listen to your intuition and understand and trust yourself, because part of this first chakra and the intuition is that when you don't understand your intuition to be grounded, then you can easily talk yourself out of doing things. And others can talk you out of doing things because they come with rationale and logic and how you can look at things and how you can see things. But your intuition is not a logical thing. And the reason it's not a logical thing is because there is too much at work in the universe for your and our human brains to align everything, right? There are certain things that are just sensed. And one of your gifts is the sensing of things. So you need to do things before they make sense. Follow your senses before your sense makes sense. It's what... I'll move on to grace. The frequency of grace supports our smooth adaptation and anticipation of life's currents and changes as we evolve toward a higher version of ourselves on this earthly plane, bridging the divine with the human essence. I feel here that while you need to leave the past and the past Cancer North Node, you also need to embrace the past you. It's an interesting polarity in itself. You know, the past needs to be in the past, but you also need to love up the past version of yourself because that person got to where you are. And embracing that, feeling whole, is what will allow you to take flight, what will allow you to feel worthy. Well, you need to bring the worthiness into that equation. You're not becoming worthy, you always have been. And I feel aspects of yourself coming back to you. As I said, aspects that you let go. The frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in the deep trust that we are all connected through the same source. I'm going to go straight to remembrance here. The frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul in body, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. And friendship. The energy of friendship supports our intrinsic desire for connection with others based on mutual affection and appreciation. I just felt to do this whole line together. So I'm feeling that you compartmentalizing your life is something that you need to stop if you have been. I feel that there are arenas of your life, areas of your life where you show up one way and areas of your life where you show up a different way. And they're not interested in you being who you need to be for people to like you or to get along with people. They want you to be who you are. Because that remembrance as well is not just, you're going to be remembering things in the next 3 months that are, things you loved as a kid, ways you felt as a teenager, things that you used to be interested in and someone demotivated you by saying that you'll never be good enough, or, your inner critic wouldn't let you do it, right? Then there's also all of the past life experiences from your soul's memory that is going to resurface. In that, your soul tribe is also going to come towards you with this friendship card here. And there is a great possibility of you coming together with these people through music in some way, whether it's going to parties, whether they're DJs, whether you share musical interests, or you make music together. Music and the throat chakra. Throat chakra expression, musical expression is going to bring you together with a lot of people in the next 3 months. A lot of the right people is what I want to say. A lot of the right people. So that's another thing. So it's like, do you just listen to whatever anyone else is listening to? Or are you someone, or can you enjoy other people's musical tastes, but be clear about what your musical tastes are and be willing to share your musical tastes as well? I feel that there's something to be opened, revealed as well through you being more open about your tastes, specifically with music. So take that as it resonates. And then the throat chakra, the energy of throat chakra supports our ability to communicate clearly and truthfully. Yeah, your opinions and your tastes are also very much worth being heard, known. Not everyone has to like them for that to be good for you. But you're not going to find people who share your taste if you're not willing to express what your taste is, or people that share. You won't find like-minded people if you're not sharing your mind, right? That was a lot. I feel like, whew, oh, okay. And we still have a ways to go, Cancer North Node. So I'm going to the 3D now. See what is coming up in your physical reality as opportunities for growth. Cancer North Node. What is coming up as opportunities for growth in their physical reality? We have the King of Wands in reverse. My first reading of this particular day, so the cards need to warm up some. Cancer North Node, 3D. Thank you. Okay. So we have which direction are we going? We're going the Two of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Three of Wands. Oh, for some reason I feel like doing it the other way around, but because I was going to go that way. The bottom of the deck is Death. Another butterfly and moth and snakes and all these transformational creatures. But Let me just see if I'm supposed to switch these cards. No, I'm not. Okay. The King of Wands in reverse. I feel that you have a lot of options of how to act. A lot of opportunities coming your way, but they're not necessarily the ones that you're looking for. And this can be because you have a set of expectations for yourself that are not in alignment with your actual soul truth. As if you want to be... So there's a fine line, there's telling me, between wanting to be the best of yourself and wanting to be something that you're not. Now, yes, we can be anything, but do you want to be... Wouldn't it be nice to make the best use of the gifts that you have and to love the gifts that you have and to use them and it to be like natural and flowing? So I feel that you may also be controlling in a lot of the circumstances in your life as a Capricorn South Node because it's where your go-to place. So you may find yourself being in charge a lot, and people wanting you to be in charge of things or to take care of things, but these things are not in alignment with your heart. And this is like one of the few times that I have in direct opposition. You know, you have fire here reversed, and then you have the Queen of Cups upright. So you have masculine energy, fire, opposing feminine energy and water, which is interesting for you in this particular reading. The Two of Cups I feel that your connections, you may be coming into a lot of connections all of a sudden, or a lot of connections are coming back to you. I'm also seeing that you may be evaluating many of your connections. And I feel that you are, over the next 3 months, are going to really be put through the challenge of expressing your true needs in relationships with, with worthiness, the first chakra and the third chakra. It's like, what is it that you need? And friendship here. What is it that you need to feel secure in a relationship? What is it that you need to feel appreciated? And how much of that are you giving to yourself so you're not overburdening other people? Now, it's good, it's right, good and healthy for you to express your needs within friendships and romantic relations and work relations. However, we have to understand that self-love must come first. We can't use our friendships and romances to fill a void. But I won't go into that completely because we have another round of cards to clarify these cards here. The Queen of Cups here, I feel, by remembrance. You're really coming into remembering a lot about yourself, remembering who you are, empowering yourself with truly knowing and appreciating yourself and your emotional landscape. So I feel over the next 3 months, you'll have, through the mirror of your relationships, you're going to understand a lot more about your emotional landscape. You're going to remember you may find yourself intuitively knowing that you've known people in other lifetimes, first of all. And as for this plane of existence, you may have opportunities to understand what triggers you in your current relationships that are things that are from past instances where you felt disempowered in relationships, or you felt, because disempowerment card as well. It's like there were times when you were bullied, you were given the short end of the stick, you were disappointed, hurt, humiliated, whatever crappy feelings there are out there that we do to each other as human beings. And that causes us to also close off our heart in many instances as a form of protection. But the Queen of Cups is you're going to be challenged to find ways to protect yourself, but still be completely open about who you are and how you feel. And the Three of Wands here, I see that being like, that looks like the moon over there. It's really interesting because on one hand, I'm like, it seems like you could be talking to someone else. But for me, I feel like you're actually talking to other parts of yourself, like your younger self, your teenage self, that these are all coming together to create a smooth path forward. I feel that if you have been feeling stagnant, it's because you've been having difficulty seeing a clear path forward. And that is because the path forward is not external. Like the map is not an outside map. The map is inside. So if, you will not be able to go forward without taking certain aspects of yourself with you. So the parts of yourself that you have been denying need to be embraced, and you need to find a way to live them out. So we're not at that part where we're talking about the advice, but I'm seeing that there will be many opportunities. I'm going to call them opportunities. There are going to be many opportunities for you to define what it is that you want, and for you to recognize where your dissatisfaction really lies. And the Three of Wands is telling me that, you're going to plan out a path. You're going to have opportunities to plan a path that is more emotionally fulfilling. Yeah, it's going to be more emotionally fulfilling. So let's go to your advice on how to bridge the 3D and the 5D. So how are we going to elevate this situation for you? They want me to say, before I go on to the next, they want me to say that this can be happening in any and every arena of your life, because it's an all-encompassing transformational kind of energy for you. Just so take note that anything that comes up that feels like you're not getting your way, you're losing something, it's a conflict, or you feel forced you feel forced to speak something that you wouldn't normally speak, or you're being forced to stand up for yourself, to create a boundary, to be discerning about, a love offer, for example, or a job offer. It's because you need to understand why you want what you think you want. And if that's not for a heart-based, authentic, soul resonating reason, then you should not be doing it. That is the exploration that's going to happen over the next few months. And they're like, yes, some of you are going to be frustrated because it's like if you've been used to following the yellow brick road because synchronicities just fall in front of you, this is not that time. This isn't a time of exercising your discernment and knowing what you and your heart and your soul wants. Okay, bridging. How can we bridge the 3D and the 5D for Cancer North Node? Take these three first and foremost. So we have the Fool. Of course we have the Fool. Why wouldn't we have the Fool? And then we have Strength. Oh, there's 4 cards here already. All right. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. That's wonderful. And we have the 3 of Swords. Ooh. That's... Oh. And at the bottom of the deck, you have the 2 of Pentacles. Okay. So, I really love this Fool. Because this Fool, they pointed me right to like this briefcase with a heart on it. And in the briefcase, there's a gun, there's a guitar. Look, also has a butterfly. Like, this is a major transformation for you. This is really a major transformation. And you need the courage to follow your heart's desire. And this could be the most cliche thing to say. But it's just what's coming out. I mean, you have intuition, you have the King of Wands in reverse. So acting stubbornly in a direction that's not working and that does not have anything to do with the intuitive direction that your inner knowing knows that you should be going that way, but your ego is stubborn and likely scared. Well, scared is the first word that they gave me. Scared to let go of what you've already built, as if there's not going to be anything there. But the Fool, they're saying, go with your intuition, and you need to spend time with your intuition to know what that is. Embark on a completely new path that only has to do with you feeling fulfilled. They know, I know, and they know that if you have anyone under your care that feels like a tall order, start somewhere. Just start somewhere. Whether they're showing me someone's closet. So if there's clothes that you have that you don't like to wear, but you just have it because it fits, then like find a cheap place to shop, like go to a secondhand store, and buy something you actually like. Like, let's start with you wearing things you actually like to wear. and finding ways to get those things on the budget that you have. And that's it. You need to start expressing yourself intuitively as well. Yes, the Strength card. This is usually like a lion and a lamb type of situation. We have a dragon and I love dragons. So I'm kind of like, why do we have this negative view of the dragon in this card? And then we have a wrestler. I forget what they call it in Mexican wrestling. And here, it feels like the energy of wrangling with your own demons, so to speak. And I do feel here that you have to tame your inner critic. Because a lot of what is holding you back from being the fool in a good way is that you talk yourself out of things, or you feel that part of you will suffer if you entertain the other part of you, right? So, for example, if you decide to do artistic things, you're going to go down this path and become flighty and neglect your obligations. And I feel the Strength card is coming in as balance. And sometimes let your inner critic work for you when you need an inner critic, but you need to become more in charge of the inner critic. You need to be more in charge of the inner critic. A time and a place and a space. There's a time, a place, and a space for an inner critic to work for you. You do need to find that place. Grace, right, is underneath here, and union is here. Saying you need to unite all the sides of yourself to work for you. So if you have a harsh inner critic, find the places where that inner critic can benefit you, and then let it rest the rest of the time. You know what I mean? Give it something to do, and then let it go, right? With the Ace of Pentacles, I feel like this line here is really speaking a lot in this particular reading. The Fool will lead you to new opportunities. So there's a necessity for you to, at the very basic root of things, believe that on the other side of this emotional exploration, there is actually more abundance waiting for you, more aligned work, more opportunities, more fulfilling work, more fulfilling relationships. I have the feeling that there is a lot in your life experience that can be leveraged for your career. Some of you are going to start a business that sprouts from resurrecting something from your past. Some of you will have careers counseling people based on your life experience. Now, I use counseling loosely. It could be writing. It could be singing. You could be writing music. You could be very literally what's the word I'm looking for? Like working in psychiatry or life coach. But I feel that there's something for everyone to gain from you, from your emotional experiences. So it's very important that you understand your emotional experiences and also record the wisdom that has come from them so that you can utilize that wisdom for yourself. And I do have the strong feeling that you are to utilize it for other people as well. The Three of Swords. So what I'm hearing is you need to channel your hurt into something. Once again, we have music here, but over the next 3 months, do not shy away from those emotions that are not pleasant. Because some of the ailments that you have physically, emotionally, and the difficulties in your relationships, any relationships you have where it's difficult to really build a bond with people, is because you have not processed heartache. Processing heartache frees you to have new experiences with new people. And you also, I feel, need to learn how to protect yourself energetically and emotionally without it being, let's say, withholding yourself. I'm going to the portal of the heart now because I feel like that is a natural progression here from the Three of Swords, which is usually 3 swords in a heart. When I say usually, I mean in the Rider-Waite deck. First card we have is the Journey. The Owl. The Mystical Shaman. And the Seer. I'm just wondering if I need this in reverse or not. Yeah, I do. Okay. You have 2 owls. You have there's another type of owl on this card here. And this figure is covering their heart. So what I'm getting here is so the journey is to go within. Once again, so you have the card Take Flight. You got 2 owls here, and you have I wonder if there's a bird in this one. Yeah, there's birds in all of them. In the next 3 months, your heart wants to lead the way completely and with complete trust, even if you have no idea where it's going to lead you. Because the owl is coming here to tell you that, if you go, you will be guided by your ancestors, by your spirit guides, and you will be given messages, signs in what feels like chaos, darkness, right? But you need to step out of the comfort zone of what you know. which means you may need to, so I'm getting the feeling, some of you need to quit the job that you have. Some of you need to, and the rationalizations you make to yourself, like, oh, well, if I stick around here a while longer, I can just save up some money. And there is a timeliness for you in particular, Cancer North Node, that there's like an upswing of energy that you need to take advantage of in order for divine timing to work in your favor right now. I don't like to give messages on timeliness, but I'm getting the message that the next 3 months is really an opportunity that may not represent itself for some time, for you to make sweeping changes in your life, if that's what you desire. And some of you don't necessarily desire it because you've become a little bit, let's say, just comfortable where you are. But that's why the heart digging, the heart investigations is so important. The journey is within. The journey is within. The heart wants to express itself. The mystical shaman, okay, the owl is the messenger. Sorry, I didn't want to skip over it in case you missed that connection there. The owl is promising guidance and delivery of messages and reassurance while you go on this journey that may feel, like you have no idea where it's going. And the mystical shaman is bringing that energy of, well, you can dream anything into being. And there's part of you that really, there are things that you are going to need to realize. Part of that is that what is already in your life is something that you created. It is something that you created. So if there's anyone that's responsible for changing it, it's going to be you. It's going to start and end with you. Some of you have a very high calling on this planet in this lifetime, and I keep coming back to this corner of music that feels like an anomaly in this reading because it's just so one track. But for some of you, it's very literally, yes, you need to be doing music. And for others of you, you're more of your life experience and your soul's experience is to be shared with the world. The mystical shaman is the assurance that you can create a life around that. If you're willing to start with a blank slate, right? Don't tolerate relationships that don't honor the you that you know yourself to be, or the you that you at least want to be. So there's also sweeping change there coming. The portal of your heart also wants to bring your inner child to the surface to remind you that you are incredibly lovable. That just came like whoosh, like a big sea wave. Anyway. The seer in reverse. Yeah, I feel that there may be some painful truths coming to the surface that may frustrate you, that may cause you to throw a tantrum. But these things that you need to see are so that you can be empowered. Because when you ignore what the divine considers obvious, then you are disempowering yourself to change things. to change anything and to make real progress. So I'm getting basically through the portal of your heart in the next 3 months, if I were to sum it up, some difficult truths want to come to the surface, and those truths do have a lot. But ultimately, the acknowledgement of those truths will empower you to take your life wherever you want to take it. They want to remind you that you have actively created your life, and you are in a phase now in the next 3 months where your guides are very willing to take you just out of where you are now and into something way more exciting and way more fulfilling. It's almost a timeline jump, if you will. For some of you, it is just a timeline jump. It's not even almost. Ooh, I just pulled your final oracles. Shuffle, shuffle. So, card 38, we have the shift. And I said, ooh, because I picked up priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? That just flew out of the deck there. All right, and I'm going to read directly from the guidebook. So, because I find they usually give a very accurate summary of what we have read, what messages have come through. So, the shift. Like the changing of seasons, transitioning from who you are to who you're becoming is a gradual process. The shift arrives when you may feel suspended in time or as if at a crossroads. You are ready to move towards something bigger, but there are many paths you could take, so much potential. It's hard to take that first step. Be still in this transition and take this opportunity to look before you leap. Now is your chance to gain additional clarity before making a decision. Review all options thoroughly and check in with your beliefs, values, and goals. Call on your guides. Being still may bring up feelings of anxiousness and vulnerability, so have compassion with yourself as you take this much-needed moment of suspension. Know that this transitional phase will pass, and soon a path will become clear. Notice that they said, check in with your beliefs, values, and goals. They didn't say ask your friends, and they didn't say, Google it. Right? I just needed to point that out. And then priestess. Let me just find it in the book here. Okay. The priestess is a teacher dedicated to service, freedom, and leadership. You don't need to have it all together to lead. In fact, it helps if you don't. No one wants a perfect angel who hasn't made any mistakes. Let your life be your message. Don't underestimate the power of sharing your story. It's by hearing someone else's journey that we feel less alone. We realize that we're actually all in this thing called life together. The difference between a follower and a leader is that a leader has the courage to go first. In stepping out, they shine a light on the path for others to venture forward too. Don't fret too much about trying to work out who is your tribe. Don't get stuck in age, income, hobbies, or occupation. The best way to discover your tribe is to look in the mirror. If you feel called to lead, chances are it is because at some point in your life you longed for someone to lead you. Your tribe are longing for exactly the same thing as you were and are, and might only be one step behind you. Hell, they may even be right alongside you. You don't need anyone's permission, just the courage to stand up. Embrace your struggles, the peaks, the troughs. You don't need to know the way. Just believe that there might be a different one. Your tribe is waiting for you. Step forward so they can find you. Yes. I like that card for you. And the other thing that came up with the mystical shaman and the owl, the priestess just reminded me and wrapped that all in a bow for you, is the path that you're going to take, likely no one else has taken. So there's really, unfortunately, I say unfortunately, because all of us would like to be comforted by knowing that we're going the right way, and maybe having someone to encourage us. Yes, you may have to rely on those beings not being human beings, because your path is one that has not been walked before. For many of you, the path that you're going on has not been walked before, but that's why it's so important that you share your journey, right? Because there's no one else that's experienced life the way you've experienced. We're each very unique in that way. And your particular challenges are meant to aid other people. And it's okay to be completely humble and be like, I'm not a leader. That's fine. That's even better, right? You can lead the way without needing to, be political about it or stand up in front of crowds in a suit, right? So let's just also deconstruct what comes to mind when you hear the word leader. That may be just me thinking of that, but when I say the word leader, I think of someone in, a three-piece suit standing in front of a big group of, at a conference center or something. Now, take it as it resonates, but I'm just also hearing that you should entertain the idea of deconstructing what you think a leader looks like, and really getting to the heart of what you possibly have to share that could be beneficial to others. Yes. All right, Cancer North Node, I will leave it at that. I hope that this resonated with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe if it did. Otherwise, check out my other podcast kind of series that I'm doing right now called Ascension Messages. They're from different galactic family members, galactic relatives of ours. And I'll be doing that throughout the rest of the month into the new year. And other than that, I will see you again soon, I hope. Until then, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now.